Welcome back, everyone. So, we're back on the server. I got a little bit of progress done. I'm. You're probably looking at this going, wow, that's a lot of scaffolding. I don't know what he's going to make here. Um, I'm just kind of freeforming this. I'm not going to be using a blueprint. So, I'm just kind of going to build as we go and see what we come up with. I did get some conveyors in here so I can get a refinery up and running, which that's chugging away. Um, I got a second refinery in here, a couple assemblers that I need to build yet in the middle here so I can throw upgrades on them. I do have a hydrogen tank in here, so that way I can actually store hydrogen and keep track of that from the cockpit. Got a initial booster pack on the back here. That may change over time. Other stuff may change over time. This is just kind of like an outside wall, so I'm just kind of framing things out. I do have enough space back here for a pair of jump drives, so I'm going to leave that space there just in case we come across some NPCs that we can actually take out and maybe salvage parts from them. Because if they have a jump drive and it's not damaged, I could break it down, rebuild it over on my ship, scavenge the parts. So I'm going to leave space for them. I'll probably put a little walkway in here or something. So, yeah, we're just kind of going to call this the back of the ship, that the front of the ship. I still got the drill on there because I'm still going to kind of go around, build up some more ore once I get some more cargo containers going in here. And, yeah, I got to move a couple thrusters around. And so, yeah, parts of the ship are going to start shifting around to different places, and we'll just gonna take it as it goes. So I'm gonna keep plugging away at making parts and getting things built up. So I'll bring you back when I have a little bit more done. Okay, so got the other refinery up and running. Got those assemblers built with their upgrade modules. We're running off of reactors now, so we don't have to worry about batteries and sunlight. Uh, Starting to come together. I decided I'm not going to keep this back bit here of thrusters, and I'm actually going to make 4 thruster packs on the back of this, which is going to be a mix of hydrogen and space for ions. So one's going to be up here, other one down there, and the same on the other side. So I started sketching out how the piping is going to have to go in there for that. So that's kind of where we're at, and got a little more sketching done, kind of beveled the edge here. But yeah, those are going to get moved once I get this broken out a little bit more. I figure maybe we'll taper this in, kind of bring out the nose out to here-ish, give myself a landing bay to fly up into for a miner and a fighter. Get some cargo space back here, room for a med bay. So I'm just going to kind of continue to carry this design forward and move bits as I need to. So I'm going to keep trucking away at getting this thing sketched out. And probably we're going to need to get started on a miner soon. So I may get going on that. So bring it back in a second. Okay, so I got the general shape I think I'm going to go with for the nacelles. Going to be 4 of them, 2 on each side. Kind of have it sketched out some lengthwise. And that'll be my main propulsion when it comes to hydrogen and ion. So have hydrogen and ion going in forward and reverse. Obviously left and right. And I'll probably sneak something in there for up and down. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Got to fill in some more blocks, but I just wanted to bring you guys back real quick so you can kind of see how things are starting to take shape. So now I got to make a ton of um, metal grids and steel plates so I can start welding this up and sketching it out more. So I'll bring you guys back here once I've done a whole ton of welding. So see you in a minute. So here we are. Lots more welding done. The shape is starting to come together. It's not perfect, but refinements can be made over time. Here's the one nacelle. It's basically complete, piped, ready to go. Got forward and reverse hydrogen on it. I got placeholders for the ions, and I got downward thrust and side thrust. So, got everything figured out there. So, what I'm going to do is replicate that down here so I can make sure I have my other directions covered. Then I'll be able to move this in any direction off the two nacelles while I work on the other two. But resources are starting to get a little low. I'm still working off of, I did have to get a little more ice, but resources are starting to get a little low. This is what I have right now. I have components, that's not the problem. But as you can see, I've literally been doing all of this, all of it, with what I started out initially with. The going around and getting core samples from all the asteroids and bringing stuff back. So you can see I still have a decent amount of iron, I still have some cobalt, nickel, the whole shebang. Got more uranium still processing in there and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's just about time to get a small ship miner put together. I don't have a way to dock it yet, but once we get this other nacelle online, I think that's when we'll start carrying this out forward and get a landing bay put together. So I'm gonna work on getting a small ship miner, at least a small one to get started with. So that way I can go get some extra ore when I finally run out, while more components are getting made, and get this other nacelle completed. So I'm going to get to that. Okay, so we have the other nacelle online. Same construction as the other one. It's all piped up, ready to go. I got my placeholders for my ions. And yeah, I did get that small mining ship built through a little connector on the bottom here, so it'd be out of the way at the moment. Nothing impressive at all. Just a drill. Got an oxygen generator on there so I don't accidentally die. One cargo, you know, thrusters in all directions, and I threw some armor on the side just so I don't accidentally, smash it into an asteroid. Um, about as bare bones as you can get, and I even have a stone ejector here because I have a sorter set up to collect stone and chuck it out the back. That way I don't have to worry about, bringing in all kinds of stone. Now, one thing I did do, I only have 2 forward thrusters on this, but I have 4 reverse. And the reason I did that is because I'm not concerned about getting up to speed going to something. I'm concerned about stopping. Stopping is more important than speeding up, especially when you're coming up to an asteroid or flying back to your ship when you're fully loaded. You want to be able to stop more than accelerate. So that's why I have that like it is. Otherwise, I got 4 up, 4 down, and then 2 left and right for strafing. But very bare bones. Um, we are getting more processed. We got a good chunk of cobalt now. We got a little bit more magnesium. I found some of that. So I grabbed it while I was on my way back, because we're going to need to get ammunition going. So right now, yeah, this is kind of where we're at. So I'm going to place a few more blocks, kind of start sketching out forward, and I'll bring you back so we can take a look at what I'm putting together here, because I have an idea in my head, sorta, where I'm going to kind of probably narrow this in a couple blocks, like probably 3, so it kind of creates a little bit of indented neck type area, and then I'm going to flare it back out again, coming out to probably about 8 or 12 blocks, because in this immediate area I'd like to get a large cargo together, um, and a few other things like oxygen generators, kind of make this production and get it closed off kind of in the neck. And then the flared out area I want to use for the landing bay. So I'll bring you back in a sec. So I got some sketching done out. Got the more narrowed in neck using the half slab blocks in here. So I think that looks kind of cool as like a bridge between the rear drive section and the forward section of the ship. Got a flared back out here. Got to put a couple more blocks here and there. But I got it flared out. And on this side, I actually kind of tried filling it in some so you guys would see the kind of design I was going for. So this area is where the landing bay is going to be. We're going to come in and land from below. I'm not sure if it's going to have doors yet or not. It may not. It may just be an open to vacuum landing bay area. Haven't decided quite yet. But for here, I flared it back out, and just so you guys know, I would have had to put a block like right there if I would have carried the slab on the outside all the way to the wall. But in order to save myself on a block, I added in one of these and just kind of tucked it in right there. Lines up with everything else, connects to everything, and it saves me from having to put a block there. So just wanted to show you guys I saved a block count by adding a little bit of detail right there instead of just trying to square it off. So I may end up doing the same thing back here. I haven't decided yet. There's a lot of detailing that's going to have to go into this, but that's later. I need the actual ship, kind of flushed out first before I can get to that. But what I'm doing here, if you can see, is I have it going out and it's kind of rounded. Then I started flaring it in. And then I started flaring it in more and angling it up. And then I flared this section in even more. So overall, as you can see, the general size is decreasing below, even though I still carried the size across the top. This way I can kind of have more like a top section of the hull and a more intricate, detailed section of the lower hull. Probably above the landing bay, coming from where I'm going to have cargo and other stuff, I'll probably have stairs going up to a bridge up here. And then carry out the forward section. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the forward nose section, but yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. I might throw some lights in here too, just to kind of add more definition. And obviously I got to go through and color this, and different areas are going to be colored different darker colors to kind of add contrast. So yeah, a lot of detailing. I know it doesn't look amazing yet, but it's going to get there. And I got a lot of blocks I need to weld, and I got a lot of plates and metal grids to make. Because at the moment, I'm making this out of heavy armor. Because again, it's every person for himself right now. So, combat is going to be a thing. Can't avoid it. Whether it's against the NPCs or whether it's against other players. So, heavy armor is kind of the plan right now. Um, but I may end up swapping out some parts of the heavy armor um, that probably won't be in direct line of fire. Like some of these parts in here, I may swap out with light armor blocks just to free up some of the weight. That way it'll continue to be maneuverable in the long run. And then the weaponry. I'm kind of keeping an eye on where my ports are. Like I left this kind of open right here because I'm probably going to want at least one cannon on top back here. And I still have this port, which I can stretch out, going either direction and kind of shape the back side here. So I'll probably put some cannons on the rear, so that way if anything's trying to chase me, I can fly away while still shooting at them. Then obviously, I gotta put some cannons along the side. I'll probably put some broadside cannons kind of tucked away in here. Replace some of these square blocks with maybe some angled blocks. Um, and then some cannons probably up in this area behind this block. Because what I'll probably end up doing is probably something where I have some falcons there, and then I kind of shape the upper hull more at an angle like this, maybe, and then kind of angle it down towards the back while I build the bridge up in between. So, yep, lots of designing to do, lots of blocks to place. Plus, we have a block limit too, which is 2,500 blocks when it comes to large grids and small grids. So, I'm not quite to 1,000 yet, so we're doing pretty good. So I'm gonna keep that up, and I'm gonna keep plugging away, and I'm gonna get this mirrored over there, and hopefully by the next episode, I'll have the other two nacelles done, and I'll have a lot of this scaffolding weld up and get at least this mirrored over here so you guys can actually see where we're at progress wise, um, and how close we're getting to an actual functional flying base. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.